Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
As you see, the kids are out there playing in the side yard, let's put it that way.
They're having a really good time. We were out here earlier. The weirdest thing happened. Sita had her toy and she was galloping along and she saw something. She threw her toy and she ran away. And she was really afraid of it. And I thought, what the heck is going on? Because Rama is just doing nothing. So I took a look with my third eye. And sure enough, there's these elementals. There's a lot of elementals under the ground here, you guys, under the ground.
And so, we also have one in our closet. Now, for some people, that'll sound crazy, like, oh my God, what channel have I come to? And for others, they're going to understand totally. What we have to try to realize is when we go back into the time of myths and legends and fairy tales, that's a different age. But it's the same age we're going into now. And we literally are. We're just sticking our toes in this Bronze Age. And during the Bronze Age time, we're going to start to become very aware of beings that we've known through our myths and legends as elves and dwarves and gnomes and sprites and pixies, and we could go on and on and on.
So, in the storybooks, there's a lot more truth in there than what we think. And when you are activating your pineal gland and working on these things, you should never have experiences that actually bring you fear. Usually higher self will step in the way and disallow that to happen if that's something that's going to bring you fear. When you see these elementals, it's very much like you seeing a squirrel, so you shouldn't have that reaction. That's never really good.
And it's part of the progression of the soul, the progression and evolution of the soul. And we go from different states of consciousness and experience different things. Many, again, elemental beings at some point in time will take human experiences. And, some may take different paths. It's all up to the individual soul. But again, we should realize these are beings with their own personalities. Every single one of us has a slightly different personality. And that's the way it's supposed to be. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the same thing with the elemental kingdom. They have different personalities. Some will be more agreeable than others. Some will be mischievous. Some might be downright naughty.
I know. And since we are talking about elementals just for a minute, I always got to talk about our dear sister, family member, Mary D, because she can really channel the elemental energy like I've never seen before in some of her work, and hopefully we'll be able to put her website up here soon someday. But she really goes to a place, and that to me tells me that she just has a really strong lineage working with the elements, and she's able to bring that energy through and make it clear so that everyone can see it.
Yeah, absolutely. As we've said before in previous videos, just want to bring it up, the original root of the word demon is actually coming from daemon. And a daemon, when you look at the original intention, what is it? Well, it's actually a natural spirit, a nature spirit that in many ways can bring you all sorts of blessings. It's thought to be more of a positive thing. And you were blessed if you had daemons on your property and if you were able to interact with them. People in Europe had it was just common knowledge that there were all these different beings around us all the time. And there were different types of elves. There were, some that were called brownies that maybe liked root cellars and basements and dark places and, preferred to kind of hide and be very, very solitary. There were those that were called trooping elves that would go around in bunches. And it's interesting, the work of Jacques Vallée, he went and was wondering if some of these trooping elves were in fact gray aliens, being confused with modern day mythology, ufology to the ancient times. So he was trying to connect those things. And really what we're talking about is just beings that are on slightly different frequencies than us. Again, just like a radio channel, turn the dial one way, you got country music, turn it the other way, you have rap, turn it another way, maybe you have heavy metal. It's all different. They are all simultaneously there at the same time, just like we're sitting here in this density. To some beings, we just look like blobs of light. They'll look at us and just think, what are those strange lights?
Mm-hmm. There is a difference when you see the elemental being and what the elemental being is able to see.
Okay, so what's happening is the dogs are looking on the roof and they just noticed there's a big satellite dish on the roof.
Oh boy, and they're telling us all about it.
Yeah, so so far so good. It looks like we have internet, and I think they're thinking Santa's on the roof.
Yes, and we have good watchdogs, so we have internet and very good observing watchdogs, because they noticed that was not there before. This is funny.
Yeah, they are pretty observant, and we got them, to be our friends, family members, and like our kids, but they're also here for protection as well, to let us know what's going on. Sassy's fine. She's
Okay.
right behind us.
Okay.
So yeah, original root daemon, and it got demonized by the church, because what the church is banking on is that they don't want people to understand that there are all different density of beings around us. There are beings that we can't see normally unless our third eye is awakened, or unless they decide to lower their frequency, or we're able to raise our frequency, in which case they might appear visible. So, the church's monopoly on the minds and the souls of the people was very, very dependent on maintaining a certain paradigm, and they didn't want that paradigm shifting. So everything out there became basically either demons, angels, God, humans, and that's about it.
Right. And if it's not, something that's allowed in our culture, well, then it's just going to be a demon, and you better not mess with it. So that's unfortunate, because there's so much, this world has so much to offer, so many layers of beauty, so many layers of information to indulge your senses in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, we've never been alone. There's no possibility of us ever being alone, as I've said so many times. And we know this through, again, all our direct experiences. Both Cindy and I, ever since we were little, we've always been able to, with me, I would have sporadic sightings of beings. Sporadically. Cindy could always see dead people. Again, think Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost, think along the lines of some of the greatest psychics that we've seen out there. She could always see dead people, and she always can. And we have yet to find somebody that she can't, track down and know where their consciousness is. But she is unusual in these times, and she is highly trained. She's trained by the Galactic Federation, because that's, who we work with. And, in fact, we have had incarnations, as have probably 25 to 30% of everybody else on the planet, in other places. And, the rest, if they don't succumb to the dark power structure on the planet, at some point in time, we'll probably decide to incarnate somewhere else too.
Mm-hmm. Right. There's just so much out there for us. And when we go to school and we could become indoctrinated, it really takes away a lot of our ability to see. So making it almost like, when you are going through an awakening, making it a point to unlearn everything that you have learned, to allow the information to come in. Because as long as you have those walls put up through other means of education / indoctrination, it's going to really deeply affect your ability to see.
Absolutely. And so I just want to reiterate a couple of things because they keep coming up. We had a wonderful session with a family member. Hey, Joshua, I hope you're listening out there. In which he reiterated again, I've had a problem doing mantras because I feel like I don't want to give my power away. I feel like, I'm not supposed to talk to other beings. See, all this has been just pounded into us when we go to the churches. And I got to share with you, I mean, I have a strong inclination every time we move somewhere else. I kind of want to go to a church and kind of want to integrate with people in a way and, share just communion, not of a sacramental type that is emulating something dark. But, just break bread, get to know people, have a great time, and share a little love and brotherhood with them. It's fun. And have found churches where I could go in and it's not all dogmatic. It's not all, pushing things down your throat. You have to believe exactly this way. But unfortunately, there are some that are exactly that way. And what it is it's truly they just don't understand. They really don't understand. They've been exposed to just one little tidbit of information, and they don't understand the bigger picture that's out there and the distortion. So usually I would look to find something more like a Unitarian type of thing, just with independent minds, or preferably find a place that has kirtans and delves down into the bhakti tradition. That has by far been my best experiences of any sort. It's just so uplifting, so loving, so accepting and tolerant. But again, not ramming down dogma down your throat in any way, shape, or form. But we are people and beings that do, as we're getting pelted by leaves, we're getting blessed by the magnolia tree. We are beings that do find, typically, unless we've been traumatized, pleasure in interacting with others and sharing our experiences.
Helping, the desire to help others is a very deep-seated emotion that lies really inside of us, and unfortunately that a lot of times that is hijacked and utilized in not so good ways. But yes, we all have this inner need for connection, and there's a lot of people out there that might have problems with certain addictions, but what they have found when it comes to addiction is that connection is a really good thing for you to do to help break that addiction. Get out there, be around other people, have fun. It changes your hormones. It allows you to secrete all the happy chemicals in your mind, when you're around like-minded people. So if you're really struggling out there, try to find some connection with others. I know they make it difficult this day and age, but it will really help.
Absolutely. And Cindy's somebody that's gone to Alcoholic Anonymous meetings, not because she had a problem, but because she just liked to share and to help others.
I did. I mean, I loved that raw emotion that were in those rooms. And, I found my way in there like anybody else. Of course, I had a problem, so I bounced in and out. But then I realized, whoa, this is just something I love to come and be with these people who are very raw. They're very honest. They're very straightforward. And if you think you have problems, you go and you sit through one of those meetings, and suddenly your problems are going to dissolve. And not only that, you're going to feel so much better. So there's got to be some form of safe way for people to gather and experience and share information in a way that is emotionally safe, because our emotions are becoming stronger and stronger and even more sensitive. So I think part of the reason we contract and move away from people is we don't want our emotions hurt. We don't want our traumas to be tapped and irritated, because we are becoming more sensitive. So it's like coming together with others in a way that we're all on the same page when it comes to understanding and caring and compassion.
And that's a beautiful thing. So we just wanted to share these thoughts with you guys as you go take your walk through the woods. Very likely there are little eyes watching you, and very likely they are curious about you as you would be about them. The vast majority will do you absolutely no harm. Some can actually help you, for sure. And when we look at the Davidic kingdom, it does go all the way from these smaller beings that just simply take care of individual plants and flowers to beings like Lakshmi and such high vibrational amazing beings that have had so many experiences on our level that they're kind of been here, they've done all they want to do there, now they just help us from above, and they can certainly bestow amazing blessings upon you. So if you do a mantra to Lakshmi and you are asking for abundance, you might find that abundance is simply going to come from an opening heart center that's going to have a new level of appreciation for all that is around you. And you might find an overwhelming sense of peace, love, and gratitude that is just coming seemingly out of nowhere. Well, that's the positive effects that can come through sending a message with the mantras to these beings, because they have been here. They have done what we are doing. They have ascended up and out. So in reality, it's not that we are worshiping them. We're asking them for, hey, do you got some good advice?
Right.
Can you help me out here? What did you do? That type of thing. What did you do when you were in our position here? And it might not come through as direct communication, but it can certainly come through as inspiration.
Most definitely.
As always, God bless and namaste.
Namaste.